Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the toy table for another project. And today's project, I'm going to take this thing and weather it to look like the Walgreens exclusive thing. Alright, so let's talk about action figures. And I think I can safely say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the thing, the Walgreens exclusive thing, is probably one of the best out there. And the thing that, in my opinion, that made it so well done was the fact of the weathering. And if you can see right here, the black wash and everything in the cracks, that's what made it look great. This particular thing from the Fantastic Four Wave, it looks good. It's just too orange. So first things first, before we actually get started, let's open it up and let's see what he looks like. All right, let's get this bad boy opened up. Now again, I mean, it's a great looking figure. But it needs something else. To me, it's just too orange. All right. And I got to thank my buddy Kent Pool for this particular figure. He hooked me up. He was doing some build-to-figure pieces, and he let me have the thing. Oh, that's way too loud. Apologies, apologies, apologies. Let me get rid of all of this. All right, so if we actually take a look at the particular figures, they're both good-looking figures, right? But you can see the differences. I mean, I think this one the head sculpt's a little bit different. The chest and everything looks. I actually thought this might be almost a reused mold, but it's actually not. There's a lot of differences in the actual figures themselves, but as you can see here on my right, the black really sets this thing off and makes it look great. And I think that'll do the same for this particular one here. So that's the project today. So hopefully I can turn this to where it looks as good as this. I don't know. We will see. It is what it is. We're gonna find out. So to do this particular project, we'll go over a few things before we actually get started. I'm probably gonna get the camera and turn it down to where it shows more of what I'm doing. Me personally, I'm a big fan of having some form of towel or something. That's just me. You know, you are dealing with paint, and paint can be messy from time to time. As far as supplies, it's actually relatively simple. You need paint, black paint, need alcohol, and you need a cup, and you need a stir stick, and you need a paintbrush, and you need some paper towels. So we got all this stuff. So let me swap camera angles, and we will get you to where you can actually see what I'm doing, and I'll go through the whole process then. Okay, so first things first, we actually have the Walgreens thing right here, and we have the new Fantastic Four thing, which looks good. It just could look better in my opinion. So we need some paint, and this is the particular paint that I use. It's like $1 at Hobby Lobby. So we're going to put not a tremendous amount, just a couple of little dollops, and we need some alcohol. Now you can use water, but I prefer alcohol because alcohol actually dries, it evaporates. So it actually will dry quicker on your figure than the water does. And basically we're just going to mix this up, and it's going to be diluted. And this is the same style weathering techniques that I use on a lot of figures. And I think that is going to look pretty good. I can actually leave that in there. All right, so first things first, we got our paintbrush, and I use basically just this is about a 1/2 inch wide brush. I think this will do pretty good. And you don't want to get in crazy, I don't get in like crazy hurry and do like the whole thing. I try to do it in more of a baby step approach. That's just me, but basically get some paint on the brush, and we will we'll start blackwashing. Wow, that was crazy. Siri just popped in. That was insane. But basically we're just going to paint a little section, and we'll just start dabbing and wiping. And this is actually, the premise by this is it's going to get down into the cracks, and it's also going to weather the outside as well, which I think makes it look even better. But that's just me. Each person, this is something that basically each person has to figure out what works best for them. So we'll just sit there, and like I said, you just brush it on. Try to get it down into the cracks. That's the main thing. Then just wipe it off. It's all about just wipe and repeat. I do recommend wearing gloves for this. Unfortunately, I do not have any gloves on, but I should have got some, but I didn't. All right, we're rocking and rolling. So like I said, you just basically weather him in, get it down into the cracks. Don't be afraid to do this. I mean, it's paint. Yes, you are basically, in a nutshell, destroying the accuracy of a figure, I guess. But for me personally, I like this. I like this contrast, this different look. And this one actually is going to be a little bit more than the Walgreen one, because this one's he's going to be like really dirtied up good. He's going to be dirtied up real good. So just get up in there. Like I said, you just dab it, get it down into the cracks, and just start wiping it off. Like I said, this isn't hard. This is actually pretty fun. I enjoy doing things like this. I enjoy weathering figures. I enjoy basically modifying them as much as I can. There's another little thing you can do too with your paper towel. You can actually take a little bit of alcohol and put on it, and come back over and wipe down the actual surface, and that'll clean up any, in other words, you can customize it even more by doing this, because it's going to take the paint off the surface area. So if you think he's getting too dark, you just take him and take it down. So yeah, just make sure to have your alcohol handy, and that's why I'm not a big fan of doing like the whole figure at one time. I like doing sections. That way I can come back over like this and wipe away any excess that I'm not really feeling, or if I think it's too much. So yeah, this is coming out really good. Get his head turned there a little bit. For the alcohol part of it, I actually most of the time use a cloth rag for this part, but I'm using paper towels to get rid of the paint, so we might as well use that same paper towel to do the alcohol part. All right, get that. And I do knock off some of the excess just to be on the safe side. Get these arms going, and you can see how when I paint it, how it goes over the surface. So that's why it's important to actually get down and dab it, get it really down in there. So it's almost like everything's going to be almost solid black. when you get to this point. Let me grab another paper towel real quick. And we'll just start wiping this off. But I'm telling you, this is a part of toy collecting and stuff that is actually really fun, in my opinion. I enjoy doing stuff like this right here because it puts your spin on it. It puts your take on what a creature or a character or a person actually, what they look like. And this is customization that anybody can do. You do not have to be a painter. You don't have to be anything other than just a person that sees something and wants to make it different and wants to make it more theirs. Then that's all this is right here. All right, so now I've got that arm. I actually got that arm weathered pretty good. So now with this particular rag here, come back, put a little alcohol on the rag, and we'll just come over the top of it, give it a nice brush, take it down a little bit more. And just keep, I mean, this is all about just doing this and repeating and getting it to the color that you particularly like. And there is no rhyme or reason to it. And you can see right now we're starting to get there. Now this one actually is going to be a little bit darker than the Walgreens one. And that's okay with me. That's my particular way of doing it. And if you didn't want to use black paint, you could use gray. Black is pretty much the standard choice for any kind of weathering like this. And again, it's literally the easiest painting you'll ever do is weathering. Especially this part right here, because it's literally just black. That's literally all it is you're putting black on a figure with some alcohol in it, and you're basically just filling in the cracks and wiping off the excess. And definitely in the comments, let me know if you do this. I'm curious. I've been wanting to do this ever since I saw this particular figure, because to be honest with you, I actually like the figure, but I felt like it was too orange. In my opinion, it just had too much orange. And I've always thought that the Walgreens exclusive one was the better looking one. And you can see as I wipe this down a little bit more, there's more and more of this comes off. And as long as you do this while you're actually going through the process, and again, I'm going back and forth, I go over areas I've already done. It keeps everything moist. It keeps it to where it's still usable, to where you can actually customize it more and more. And every time you do this wipe, you're changing it. You're changing the way it looks. You're changing the different color schemes, how they're laying, everything. So this is, in my opinion, one of the most crucial steps is don't just black wash it and go. Actually keep wiping it down as you go. And that, again, goes back to what I said earlier about doing small areas at one time. It just makes this process so much easier, and it makes it where it makes more sense. And I think you'll have a better result with this. And so far, he is really coming out good. If you can see from the upper to the lower, the difference that this makes, it's crazy. Now again, he's darker. He's darker than the Walgreens one, and that's okay with me. I think that actually gives him more contrast. It gives him more, it actually brings out the rock formations more, in my opinion, because the actual rock formations have black on them, so they're dirty. And let's be honest, I mean, he's basically made out of rock and stone, and rock and stone's dirty. That's just my opinion. Rock and stone's dirty. All right, let's do the leg here. And even if I get it up here on the blue, I'm okay with that. I'm actually going to do this whole leg. We're just going to rock and roll on this one. Get him good, and because this will give you a really good visualization of this leg versus the other leg that hasn't been done yet. So pull his foot down, and now we're just going to wipe it off. You will go through a few paper towels. That's the one thing about it. You don't go through a lot, but you do go through a few. I always have a fresh paper towel for every component. Like this leg here has his own paper towel. And I'll put alcohol on this one once I'm done, which we've got most of the excess worked off. So we'll get the paper towel here. Whoops, fold him on the clean side. Get a little alcohol. And basically just wipe him down. Just give him a good wipe. Again, that's going to take off the biggest bulk of the top color. And you can see how much it actually takes off. Get down in here. Make sure when you're also doing it, especially the joints, because you will get paint down in here. So definitely make sure and wipe these out pretty good. The paint's not going to affect the joints or nothing like you would think it would when it dries, because there's alcohol in it, and the alcohol is going to make it dry a little differently. So, all right. All right, so check out the difference between the left leg here and the right leg. And I've left the head till last as well, because I wanted to show you guys some contrasting colors and things like that, so you can see as I'm going the transformation, in other words. And another thing too, this video, I'm not cutting or anything like that except for at the beginning. I wanted you to see this whole process from start to finish, so you can actually put a time frame on it, so you know it doesn't take forever. In other words, this isn't a 15-hour process. This is something that you literally can do relatively quick. And with everything that's going on right now in the world and people being stuck at home, this is a good time to actually start doing things like this if you have an interest in doing it to your figures. And don't forget the bottoms of the feet. Just saying. A lot of times I've actually seen some weathering and the bottom of the feet or the boots was not done, and you can tell it pretty quick. All right, let's get this thing wiped down. I think we can set that there for now. That's always been my biggest worry, is actually turning over the paint can or the paint cup per se. All right, get this wiped down. Oh yeah, this is looking so much better. So much better. All right, repeating the alcohol process. A little bit of alcohol, and then we'll just do a wipe down. I'm actually thinking about doing some of this on a Dr. Doom figure and a She-Hulk figure. I do this on Stormtrooper figures too, because they're so white. I like to dirty them up a little bit, because I personally think that, you know, you're not going to be perfect. And same goes for him. I actually did miss a little spot right there. So let's get a little bit going on. That's just a simple little swipe. And I'm going to go ahead and use this alcohol rag, but I'm going to flip it over because it's clean. I'd already put paint here. I just needed to add a little bit more. So there was no sense in actually using another paper towel. And this one that had the alcohol on it actually worked out really good. All right, so we've got him pretty much. So now the head part, I usually save heads and faces for last. I usually get a lot of the paint off. And as you can see around the cup here, I'm actually just tapping it to the side, and I also use the stir stick to take off some excess. But the head itself, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious with. In other words, I'm not just going to douse the whole head because I want to get a feel for it. And I'm going to use this rag again because this side is relatively clean. And there's still some paint that's actually on the rag. So around the face and the helmet areas, the figures, this is the way I usually approach those because I want them to be, sometimes I want to just take it in smaller steps so I can actually see how the face is turning out, because the last thing you want to do is really overdo the head area or the helmets, because sometimes since they're smaller you don't need as much. And I think that actually turned out pretty good. All right, the last step that I do in this is I take a clean paper towel, has been no paint on it whatsoever. I give it a really good soaking of alcohol. This is the final wipe. This is the part where I really just go over the whole figure, and I'm looking to see what's coming off. But it's almost the way to clean it up and give it just that final coat of alcohol. So we're starting to get some off right there. So I'll flip it over to this clean side, add a little bit more. We'll come up here on the back area. And we're just coming down, just like I said, just the overall figure itself. We're just giving them a good cleaning. And it also gives you an indication of the paint itself, the level of wetness that it still has, which, to be honest with you, I'll show you this with another clean towel. Nice and clean, nothing been on it. Fold it in half. This is the reason why I use alcohol. So as you wipe down the whole figure like this, no paint. This paint is dry. It's literally dry now because the alcohol evaporates so quick, and you have basically it's like 1/3 paint, 2/3 alcohol mixture. You don't have to, if you used water, you would literally have to let this sit and dry for a little bit. You would get paint on it, in other words. But all right, let me do a clean up my mess here real quick. We'll come back and I'll show you the final product, and we'll do some final thoughts. But here's the Walgreens exclusive, which is a awesome looking figure. Looks really good. And here's the Fantastic Four thing now, which in my opinion looks tremendously better compared to what he did look like being completely orange. I think this actually gave him some character now. So let me clean up my paint mess, guys, and I'll be right back. Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, so yeah, I'm still cleaning up. It doesn't, so here's the thing. This is, as you saw, I left, this is a long video. It's probably going to be well over 20 minutes. And And I wanted you guys to see this from start to finish. I wanted you to see the process, so you guys would know that you don't have to invest a day unless you're doing an army. That could take a day. But if you're doing one figure, I mean, realistically, you're talking half an hour, and it's that easy. I really hope you enjoyed it. But let's take a look. So here is the Walgreens exclusive thing, which looks really, really good. I love it. This is an awesome figure. And now we have the Fantastic Four thing, which I think looks better. Me personally. If we look at them side by side, we got Walgreens on my right, Fantastic Four on the left. There is a darker difference with this one. That's understandable. That's totally expected, in other words, compared to this one. You could go in and you could be, more going into the cracks and this and that. You could do that. Nothing wrong with that. It's definitely more time consuming. But me personally, I've always felt that the Thing was more of a overall dirtied up figure and not as pristine. That's just my opinion, and I think that's what made this one so popular when it hit, was because of the blacks and the cracks and stuff, and it gave it some contrast. But me personally, I am super excited about the way this one turned out. Again, you're seeing me, I'm going over it again with another alcohol rub. I usually do this I used to do it probably 1, 2, maybe 3 times as I'm going. And that's just, like I said, it's just final touches. I look at the figure. If I see a certain area, I might rub it a little harder. That's the beauty of this. You can customize these so easily just by using a little bit of paint, a little bit of alcohol, a little bit of time, and next thing you know, you have an awesome looking character that has been customized the way you like it, the way you see it, and the way you would want it to be represented. So anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this how-to video on how to blackwash the Thing from Fantastic Four Wave. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know. Yes, no. Do you like it? You think I messed up? I want to hear your opinions. If you have one of these, watch this video and then compare yours to the one I just did. If you have the Walgreens, there's definitely going to be a difference, which is good. I did not want this to look identical to this. I already have this. This achieved exactly what I wanted it to do. It dirtied him up. And to me, that's the thing. He should be dirtied up. Not pristine. So, yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if this is your first time to my channel, please make sure and hit that subscribe button and make sure you got notifications turned on. That way you'll know when I drop the next video. But definitely leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And always remember, toys refresh your soul. And I'll see you in the next video.